and this book is good. It has a lesbian romance, Latina, but I think that's okay. Priti always annoys Nishat as a warm welcome. Romance book, I don't like them. Hi everyone, I'm back with another video. This is the video on book of the month for June. For the month of June, I had decided to read the Henna book. The book is written by, I actually forgot the name of the author, and it is Adiba Jaigirdar, and I also didn't want to mispronounce her name. This is a young adult romance book written by Adiba, and she is a person of Bangladeshi descent. She's a South Asian, and this book is good for the following reasons. It has proper representation in terms of South Asian people slash brown people. It has a lesbian romance between two girls, and the other girl being a non-white girl, because usually when I see a person of color being romantically involved, it's usually with a white person, right? This time that is not the case. We have Nishat involved with Flavia. She's a Portuguese person, and she's also a brown person. She's not brown as in South Asian, she's brown as in Latina, I think. I'm not sure if I can call a Brazilian person Latina, but I think that's okay. Both of them meet in a Catholic high school in Ireland. We already know how this is going to go. Catholic all-girls high school in Ireland. So this story is set up in Ireland, and Nishat is initially, at the very first chapter, she's coming out to her parents as a lesbian person. So you can already feel the anxiety and frustration, right? Because if you're someone from a South Asian community, you know how most of the families are not at all welcoming to these kind of identities and all the support one could need when they are coming out. That is not at all common here. And if you think about it, Nishat is also a Muslim, so it's twice against her for being a lesbian, both her religion and also her ethnicity. And so that's how the book starts. I really like the fact that the book started on Nishat coming out to her parents in a very, calm way. It didn't have any fuss, or there was no drama or anything there in the first chapter. And I understood after reading the very first chapter, this book is going to be a well written, calm, mostly. I knew that in the very first few chapters itself. Especially because I could see Preeti and Nishat bonding as sisters. I've seen it so many times. I cannot say me and my sisters are exactly like Preeti and Nishat, but we do had some similar moments as well. And I really love that the most in this book, because Preeti and Nishat have the most realistic sibling relationship. They giggle non-stop. Preeti always annoys Nishat, and Nishat also, gets angry, shouts at Preeti, and Preeti breaks down, and like, this is the normal sibling relationship, right? And to read about it after like a long time, especially after reading so many fantasy and murder books, this was a warm welcome. I usually don't like romance books. If you're someone who already have seen my videos, or if you're someone who already know me, you know that I don't read romance book. I don't like them, not because me trying to be, cool or edgy. It's because I don't like predictability, and I don't like many tropes that come with romance books, especially the miscommunication and the love triangles and misunderstandings. Like, I don't like that. If you have a problem, you have to go and talk with the other person, and I am that sort of person in real life. So it would be really hard for me to read 5 chapters of miscommunication and 5 chapters of silence and avoidance. I don't want to read that. And the romance books all have a similar plot structure: the introduction, the love, the relationship, the ignoring the relationship, trying to get into it, and then actually getting it, and then getting the first problem the second, and actually breaking up before the end of the book, only to join at the end of the book. I don't like that. But this book, right, I don't know why I liked it, but I really liked it. I'm happy to have read a nice warm romance book after a long time, because I don't usually read those books, right? This is especially, I have to appreciate the author Adiba, because she doesn't go over the top for anything. There is not over the top drama, there is not so much miscommunication that always comes with romance books. There is just a little amount of miscommunication, just a little, not much. And there is warm welcoming characters like Priti and Chevon and Jess, and there are some wonderful characters around the main character, which doesn't feel like, character mold. If you see romance books or romance movies, you always see a friend who fits the character mold on the side characters or whatever. They all have a perfect mold into which they fit as you start reading, right? This is not mostly the case with this book. Chevon and Jess, they don't like. I mean, they do have their ups and downs. They do have something common with other book characters. Book characters' friends, but not entirely based off the similar character mold. So I really liked that about her writing, and I also liked the fact that the chapters were small and the pacing was very good. Like, if you read one chapter and if you get bored and if you don't want to pick up the next book, that's the worst thing, right? And this book, I finished it within 2.5 days, I think. Again, 2 or 2.5 days. I'm not sure. I couldn't stop reading it. I have to, tell myself, okay, I've been reading for too long. I need to eat. I need to do something else. That is the only reason I stopped reading the book. And I also have other works going on. But otherwise, the book was well written, and I really, I can't appreciate it enough. I don't know how well this book is known. It's kind of underrated if you ask me. I had to search a lot, and this book didn't come up to my suggestion immediately. And another major reason I read this book is the representation. I'm from India, which makes me a South Asian, and to see a representation on a romance book, that too a lesbian romance or sapphic romance, that is good. That is good. This will actually make people feel represented, especially when you have nobody else to talk to and you read a book and you see someone go through similar struggles as yours. That is something like a warm hug, right? So I really wanted to appreciate that as well. And another important thing is, I really like there was no one villain in this book. There's always this, almost cartoonish villain for every romance book, or even at times in movies. This villain who does nothing out of nowhere, who does something out of nowhere just for the sake of it. And there is somewhat a similar antagonist in this book, but she's also not. I don't even know what to say. She's not. She doesn't fit the character mold of all the other. With all that said, I really liked the book, and it was a very small book, again, I think around 400 pages. And it is a book I would really ask anyone who wants to read a light-hearted romance with South Asian characters and, you know, lesbian romance or sapphic romance. If you want that kind of stuff, you can definitely read this book. It's a sweet, light-hearted story that you would really like. And with that, the video is going to come to an end. Of course, I'll update more about the upcoming books for the Book of the Month series. And I guess that's it for now. Bye. Live through stories.